I recently had my Tesla Model 3 back at the Tesla Service Centre for some work. Here's my experience of that. So before I start, just don't forget, click the like and subscribe buttons down below. That would really help. Thanks very much. So this week, I had to take my Model 3 back to the service centre in Perth, Western Australia, just to get a couple of little things fixed. I've heard a lot of stories of people having horror stories with Tesla service. It's all done through the app. So I'll just take you through how to get the service to start off with, and then I'll go into what I found when I got there. So how do you get service? You use the app. As you can see here, I've got the app open and scroll down, and down here you've got service. So if we click on service, now at the top here, you've got request service. So you request service. And then you've got a long list of topics that can be covered: collision glass, noise and vibration, tyres, exterior. If you're not sure, you go in and have a look, see if that covers it. Interior, you can have a thing on there. Infotainment, etc. Now, I actually went into other, and you've got to click something else, click done, and then you type in the message of what's wrong. Now, you can also attach photos, and then when you've done all that, you clicked next, and then it will want you to enter your address, and then it will want you to work out when, date and time, which service centre you want to take it to, and you go from there. So that's just how to quickly get it in. I'm not going to put in my address here. So once you've done all that and you've put in your address, picked your date and time, and then you click submit and you wait. You'll probably receive a phone call from the service team. I got several phone calls to clarify a few points on exactly what was wrong. Now, it's a good thing, if you can, to put in timestamps. So with my problem, I actually had two. There was the passenger side rear view mirror, which goes out and in automatically. It wasn't. The driver's side was. The passenger side wasn't going in and out all the time. So I gave them timestamps, a couple of timestamps of when it was happening. And the other thing was, it turned out to be my seat sensor. The easy entry, when I get out of the car and take your seatbelt off, I've got the car set to go down and back, so I've got easy entry. I can get in and out much more easily then. But as it was going down, if I opened the door, it would stop. And the same when I got in the car, put my foot on the brake, the car seat would go up. And then if I closed the door in that order, sometimes it would stop. So I'd have to manually select where I wanted my seat to go. It turned out to be the sensor in the seat not detecting my big fat bum. But I gave them the timestamps of when it happened a couple of times, and they then called me back and go, yes, we've worked it out. It's the seat sensor, the occupancy sensor. It's faulty. We can replace that. So that was much more useful to them. So if you can, get a timestamp so that they know when it's happening. Then you turn up at the allotted time. Don't be late. I was late, but the weather was dreadful and there were car accidents on the freeway. So I did turn up, and it was persistently raining. And they needed the car for most of the day to fix these two. They had to replace the mirror and then get the seat out and fix the sensor in there. My wife and I were going to go for a bit of a walk, but it was raining and I hadn't booked a loan car. I don't even know if they have them. But they said, oh, look, we can give you an Uber voucher. And I thought, oh, that's all right. It was a $60 Uber voucher. I only used about $35 of it on a couple of journeys, but that was really quite useful. So don't forget, you can always ask for an Uber voucher if you need to go away for a period of time. So we dropped the car off, got the voucher, gave them the key card so they could drive it around. And then I suddenly realised I hadn't charged the car up. And we got there with around about the 35%, and it would take about 25% to get home. And it was raining, so it might have taken a little bit more. So I asked them if they could put a few electrons in and just give it a bit of a charge so I could get home safely. And they said, yeah, we'll do that. So when I returned to the service centre later on in the afternoon, it wasn't quite ready, but I had returned early. It gave me a chance to look over the Model Y in the showroom again. Now I can't wait to get mine. It's probably not going to come till not the end of next week, maybe the week after. So we're looking at the first few days in September, I think. But once the car was ready, they explained what they'd done and went through a few things with me. And then I got in the car and they'd actually charged it to 90%, which is the level that I have it set at. So I arrived in the morning with about 35% and they charged it up to 90%. Now that was a pleasant surprise. So I got a nice charge, I got an Uber voucher, I got a full explanation of what they'd done, and they were all very nice about it. At no time in the process was I disappointed. It all went very smoothly. So before the appointment, I'd received a few messages on the phone in the app and some phone calls. And after the service, they'd explained it all and they'd even charged me car. So more than happy. As I said, I've heard some horror stories of Tesla service, but I've used them on many occasions now. Well, not many, but a few. And I've had nothing but praise for them. Now, this is Tesla Perth. They've even come out to my home twice to fix a couple of minor things. And I've taken it to them a few times for them to fix it in the service centre. So Tesla Service Perth, 10 out of 10. Well done. Thanks very much. Don't forget, click like and subscribe. This was a very quick video on my recent experience this week with the service team. Thanks very much. See you all soon.